How do you stay focused when everything is competing for your attention? As a nomad entrepreneur who's living in Bali, building his businesses, there is a lot of distractions when it comes to people who ask for your time, when it comes to projects who ask for your time, when it comes to nice things that are happening around you that ask for your time. There's always something that competes for attention. And it's about staying focused and choosing the things that make sense for you. I moved into a Bali villa now with a nice pool in the background. So I'm officially gonna sell you a course. That's not true. But to be fair, I was standing on the balcony today at this villa with a view on the rice fields. And when I stood still, I realized how far I've come and how much I achieved so far, even though I'm by far not where I want to be yet. Like my companies are running, it's fine. They're making money. I'm making money. I keep my head afloat. But still, if I just reflect on how did I get there, it's about moving forward. It's about staying focused and it's about keeping your eyes on the prize. When I was living in my student room, recording my first couple of videos, or when I would tell myself, my 16-year-old self, that I would live in Bali now with a nice rice field view, a pool in the background, you name it, I think I find it hard to believe myself. But what do you need to do to get there when everything is competing for your attention? Maybe when you're starting out, it's your old friends who ask you to go out with them, or all those nice dinners that you want to join with your friends, or it's clubbing, or it's going to soccer practice, or like whatever. Everything is competing for your attention. But if you know what's important to you, it becomes easy to say no. In my experience so far, that's the magic trick. In Bali, there's like a lot of distractions. A lot. People who consistently invite you for dinners, all kinds of free networking events to paid networking events, all kinds of opportunities that just come your way. And knowing where you're headed and knowing what your focus is, having your priorities straight, to me is the magical trick. It's the magical trick of saying no to the things that do not serve you, even though it might feel hard. Because I do say no a lot. And it came down to what one of my friends said when I had dinner with him. And it comes down to one simple thing. It's not and. You cannot and travel the world and build a business and be in the best shape of your life and do whatever. It's having your priorities straight, knowing what to choose. Because if you choose one thing, then by default, you're not choosing another. And if you choose 5 things, then by default, you do not choose 5 other things. But the less choices you have to make and the more you say no, the more focused you are, the faster your progress will be, just because you're focused. And again, I'm not saying I have it all figured out. 100% no. But it's just me telling from my experience, from someone who traveled for the past 1.5 years to Morocco, Madeira, Lisbon, Bali multiple times, Vietnam, Thailand, you name it. It was fun, but it also came with a cost. It came with the cost of focus. And that's very much the season I'm in right now when it comes to building my business and the things that I need to do to go to the next step. It's be in one place, have some stability, have a proper home to live in. Because a couple of months ago, I literally lived in guest houses, which is fine for a period. But now I got the opportunity to live with some friends in a nice villa in the middle of nowhere in the rice field, still close to B-work, so I can still go to my co-working. And it just gives so much mental rest to have a nice space to live in. Like I said in the beginning of the video, when I stood on the top of this house with the view on the rice fields, I really realized how much I achieved so far. And it's not to brag and it's not to say that I'm better or whatever. It's not about that. It's about trusting in that process, the trust in yourself that you have in that process to go to the next step. It's like this cliche saying, right? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one single step. And the more steps you take, the further along you come on that journey. In the end, I'm 23. I know I'm on the right track. Just because I say or instead of and. I'm not and traveling the world and getting the best physique possible and building my business and eat out every single day with friends and have parties and all of that. I did not drink a sip of alcohol for the past year. Why? Because a simple choice. I had my priorities straight and it didn't serve me to make that decision. There's this saying, and it goes the following: if you want to be exceptional, then by definition of the word, you are the exception. If you choose a different life path, which I did by having my own company, building my businesses, going to Bali, all of that, you are different. You are different because you made different choices. You took the leap of faith to not go the ordinary route of getting a job. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting a job. But if you feel like there are people who don't understand you, you're right. Because you are the exception. So then by definition of the word of exception, you will not be accepted or understood by a lot of people. And to be fair, there is always a price you pay. Like I said earlier in this video as well, If you choose A, then by definition of it, you don't choose B and C. But everything always comes with a price. Everything is always a double-edged sword. If you look at the richest people, and I've met a couple of them, all of them paid a certain price. And that came down to what I learned from Chris Williamson as well. What's praised in public is what you pay for in private. Me living in Bali right now, I pay for that by seeing my parents only like once or twice a year. Me building my company, I paid for that with my sleep. But right now I'm taking a lot of priorities in my sleep that I have at least like 7 to 8 hours. It's literally what I've been doing this week because I track everything here. And it's amazing how much energy that gives. Also, like that you're in this grind set and that you're working hard and that you're doing a lot doesn't mean that you need to sacrifice your sleep. It doesn't mean that you need to sacrifice your rest. I recently learned that it's actually really good to have at least one day off. I used to work 7 days a week, literally until like 2 weeks ago or a month ago. And now I try to work 6 days a week and one day not touch my laptop at all, recharge. And the funny thing is, the moment I started recharging, business still continues. If you don't do stuff for one day, no one is gonna die and things still go on. I actually made money while I was resting because in the meantime that I took some rest, some clients had some time to think. And on Monday when I opened up my laptop, it's like, hey, job, I still want to do it. I want to go through with this offer. To be fair, I still work 12 hours a day. I still work 6 days a week. I still sleep 7 to 8 hours instead of, and sometimes I still sleep 5. I'm not perfect there. Everything comes with a cost. The fact that I slept 5 to 6 hours a day in the week and worked 7 days a week, it's also what brought me here. But now I'm trying to pivot. How can I be more efficient with my time? How can I take a rest day? Take some time off every now and then. It's just things take work. Things take work. Things take prioritizing. You need to say no every now and then. And nothing happens by default. And it really comes down to people want the view, but not the climb. Yes, it's amazing to live here. Yes, I'm very grateful for that. But I also worked my ass off for it. I'm not that special. You can probably do the same thing. It's just do outreach, fulfill a service, make money with it. To the core, it's all quite simple. It's not and, it's or. If you want to be exceptional, then by definition of the word, you're going to be the exception and you will be misunderstood. Everything is a double-edged sword because you always need to pay with it for something if you want to achieve something. Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your friends, your family, whatever. Someone has got to pay for it because you cannot have everything at the same time. Simply not how it works. And people will always say, oh, he got lucky. Or, but he had this, he had that. I want to do that, but whatever. They don't want to do the work. Because people want the view, not the climb. And within all of that, don't forget to enjoy. Have some fun and sometimes take a rest. Work 6 days instead of 7. Maybe in the beginning you can work 7. Yeah, it really depends on where you're at in your journey. Take some rest, prioritize sleep. I personally got way more stuff done now that I prioritize my sleep a bit more, and the world is still here. That's my short little update from Bali, and I see you again next week. So visionaries, as always, take action. And if you want to know more about all the business stuff and the things I implement for my clients, click on this channel right here because that's where I talk about that stuff. And if you like this video, I'm almost 100% certain that you love this video right here. So you can click on that as well. Then take action and I see you in the next one. Ciao.